Hi, Alan Stratton from Woodturns. For this week's project, I'm going to continue with another scoop. This one will be, again, a single piece scoop, all in line, but it's more on the horizontal this time, scooping up. This is out of sycamore, which is a very, very pretty wood. I wish you could see the grain detail that is on this thing, but I did have to take a step back in order to make this scoop. And that is, really, to do this well, I need a set of soft jaws. And so I had to take a step back and make these so that I could actually grip the bowl of this scoop and be able to hollow out the center after the spindle part of it. So that I'll talk about in the next week's video. But for now, let's go ahead and take a scoop on this scoop. I have already roughed this sycamore to a cylinder. I will use the sphere octagon method to get close to a perfect sphere on this scoop. However, I will not be able to perfect it since it will stay integrated with the handle. The cylinder diameter is 2.27 inches. Applying the standard corner positions from my video, 2.27 times 0.414 or 0.940 will be the length of all sides. 2.27 times 0.293 or 0.665 will be the distance from the cylinder corner to the adjacent octagon corner. I also add these two together so that 1.605 is the distance from the cylinder corner to the far octagon corner. Please see my video for more detailed explanation. I'm starting by trimming the live center end of the cylinder to cut out a crack and to allow for the live center point. At the same time, I am turning this down to the diameter of a side as calculated. This will establish a corner that I will use later. Once this is finished, I can lay out the other key points on the cylinder, the two octagon corners and the length of the sphere equal to the diameter. Now for the drive side of the sphere. I want to cut this down to a tenon that will be the larger of the octagon side or the diameter of the handle. This is by eye since the handle is integral with the scoop. I take this opportunity to waste away a lot of the excess wood for the handle. Next, cut the 45-degree sides for the octagon from the measures on the surface of the cylinder to the corners near the turning axis. After dividing each side in half and half again, I cut the corners to a hexadecagon. Then immediately go on smoothing all the corners to a sphere. Since I cannot use the cup center method to perfect the sphere, the best I can do is to sand it with 80 grit sandpaper. Here I try to wrap the paper to follow the curve of the sphere. The sandpaper then knocks down the high points. Then proceed to shape the handle. I want to use my skew, my favorite tool for finials and handles. I only revert to a spindle gouge to hog off excess wood and occasionally for a tight curve or transition. I want plenty of wood for the transition from handle to scoop. Then I want a large enough handle to grip easily. For me, simple is good and more comfortable than a lot of beads and coves. If I made the diameter smaller, with a lot of beads and coves, this would be a scoop with a finial and be more fragile. When shaping is completed, I sanded bowl and handle thoroughly. I decided to have some accent burn lines. I marked the positions with a slight groove and burned them in with my tri-wire tool. I do not want a burn line next to the bowl portion that would likely be interrupted when the bowl is hollowed. My wood soft jaws are now mounted, and I have made a slight hollow inside the jaws to cup the bowl portion. One jaw is removed to make space for the handle. I'm positioning the scoop for the handle to angle up. The handle is pressed against the leading edge of the next jaw for the positive drive. It turns out that I hollowed a trifle too much, and I am at my small limit for these jaws. I compensate with several layers of masking tape and remount. I will make my next set of jaws smaller. This is now a hollowing task complicated by the handle whipping around my small bowl. I position my tool rest to run parallel to the handle and test it to ensure that it will rotate freely. My tool rest is also the boundary beyond which I cannot extend any part of my body. Otherwise, a big whack. Most of the early work is with my spindle gouge, then finish with a round nose scraper, then sand. I still need to sand what is left of the original centers. Most of the wood disappeared at the disc sander. For the fine work, I like my sanding pad mounted to the lathe. This requires a 1/4-inch collet with a number 2 Morse taper and a drawbar. I like this better than using the drill press. Finally, a bath in walnut oil will keep the scoop food safe if anyone actually uses it. I like my scoop. The sycamore wood shows a beautiful grain pattern. The handle and the bowl are integrated in the single piece of wood. I will proudly add this scoop to my collection. The wood soft jaws were critical to the scoop project. I will show these in a separate video. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe on my website, and tell your friends about my videos. I appreciate your comments and questions. Every week I add a new wood turning video to my website. Always, please wear your full face shield anytime the lathe is running. A face shield saved my life, and it can save yours. And if you use it, I will be able to see you again next week.